The American Cancer Society relies on volunteers to support those in our area who need help the most. Longtime volunteer Nathan Farnor is here to talk about his role with ACS and the Cancer Action Network. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you for letting me join you.
Yeah, of course. So tell me a little bit about your role in the American Cancer Society, being a volunteer. How long have you been a volunteer, first of all?
So I have been involved with ACS for about 11 years now. So I got started, my grandfather passed away in high school from pancreatic cancer. We grew up in this area. And I was, up until that point, I had gone to the events, but wasn't really familiar with the cause, wasn't really connected. So he passed away, and I started doing research and started getting more involved. And then as time went on, I moved up the ranks a little bit, and I currently serve as the National Advocacy Lead for the National Campus Leadership Team.
Wow, that is amazing. And so kind of your role as a volunteer, obviously it's something that has evolved over time, but what makes you come back year after year to be a volunteer and be connected with American Cancer Society?
Absolutely. Well, I think when you're talking about cancer specifically, and you're talking about any aspects of cancer or healthcare, it's one of those things that it touches everybody. I think it's hard to find a person who can't say they themselves or somebody they love or know or work with or went to church with has had cancer, been impacted by cancer. So in a time, as we all know right now, where things seem to be a little crazy at moments, this is one of those things that really can bring people together. It's one of those issues that it isn't political, it isn't based on any background, it's just, it doesn't discriminate. It's one of those things that really brings people together.
Right, and so tell me a little bit about the Cancer Action Network.
Yes, so a lot of people in our community are probably very familiar with the American Cancer Society due to our Relay for Life events or our Making Strides events. So the Cancer Action Network is actually the advocacy wing of the American Cancer Society. So while ACS does a lot of the fundraising and education, the Cancer Action Network is doing the work of meeting with our elected officials in the state level, the local level, and nationally to get their support on policies and legislation that impacts cancer.
So it's kind of the national level of, like you said, advocating for American Cancer Society and those who really reap the benefits of it as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm sure you as a volunteer have been able to see those benefits work at hand with people's lives and people's families and everything here in the Tri-Cities, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I said, especially in our region, I know a lot of people in our community have been impacted with cancer. Unfortunately. But I think for many years, for many decades, when you hear the words cancer, it was a death wish. People automatically assume it's the worst thing in the world, there's not a chance. But over the last few years, we've seen a change. Used to, 1 in 3 people survived cancer. Now it's 2 in 3 people. So the tide is turning. It's slow. It's a slow process, but progress is being made, and we need all the help we can get.
Yeah, definitely. And so next month, you guys have a big day as well. Tell me a little bit about what's going on.
On Wednesday, February 20th, we will be having folks from all across the state joining us in Nashville, and at that time they will be meeting with their state officials, their elected officials, to talk about some of the issues and policies here in Tennessee that can really help change that tide when it comes to cancer in our state. And we're looking for anybody to get involved. We need volunteers, we need people just to meet, to share their stories. You don't have to be an expert policy person, none of us are. We just want you to come in and let other people know how cancer has impacted you and why they should want to get involved.
Show your support, right?
Absolutely.
And so if people are interested in that or maybe learning on becoming a volunteer with ACS, how can they find some more information?
Absolutely. So if you're interested in getting involved with Relay or some of the events that people around here are commonly familiar with, they can just go to our website at cancer.org and they'll find everything they need to know. If they want to get involved in our Day at the Capitol or some of our advocacy efforts, they can go to fightcancer.org. So they're really easy to remember, but we're always looking for volunteers. It doesn't matter what your skill set is. I guarantee you'll fit right in.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate you coming in, and we appreciate you putting so much of your time and energy into helping the people who live here and, of course, across the nation with American Cancer Society. Thank you so much. So if you want to get involved, all the information is right there at the bottom of your screen. Thanks again for coming in.
Thank you.